Well, there we go, that's strength out of the way. So please tell us, Mr. Dragon Slayer, about Natsu's techniques.
Techniques would fall under Dragon Slayer magic.
Can you elaborate on that?
Dragon Slayer magic is a lost form of magic, which is dependent on what dragon has taught what human. Like, for instance, there is Fire Dragon Slayer, learned by Natsu Dragneel, but he only learned it from Igneel, the Fire Dragon King. There is Gajiel. There is Gajiel, Black Steel, who was trained by Metallica in Iron Dragon Slayer, and Wendy, who was trained by the Sky Dragon Grandina to learn Sky Dragon Slayer magic. For some examples.
Well, that's actually really cool. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but can't Natsu do special moves with his fire magic?
That is true.
One of my most famous is when he does that giant fireball, which he makes come out of his mouth, but then he throws it with his hands.
That is known as the Flame Lotus Exploding Flame Blade.
That is a mouthful.
Yes, it is. But it is a very good lead.
I bet it is.
Sounds pretty cool.
So a lot of Natsu's techniques involve fire.
Yes. Well, that's just Natsu's. There's others. There is iron, sky, wind. There's light and shadow.
But Natsu doesn't use them, does he?
No, but he does learn how to use lightning as well as fire. But at the same time.
That is awesome.
But I don't know how he manages to do it.
Well, think of it like, how can Kakashi use lightning style jutsu and fire style? He learned.
That's true. Well, I think Natsu just adapted to his body just adapted. Because Gajiel learned how to do it with Shadow Dragon Slayer magic as well.
There's nothing you can't learn with some hard training and practice.
Not really. The Dragon Slayers just did it on their own.
Oh.
No practice.
Well, fuck me.
They just did what we humans do. They went with their guts.
Well, if you think about it scientifically, fire is a form of plasma, and lightning is a natural form of plasma that comes out of the clouds.
That is true. But it's science for you, though.
Which makes no sense to me. How come there's fire style jutsu and then lightning style jutsu when fire and lightning are kind of the same in terms of science? But then again, how the hell can you apply science to ninjas?
That's true, it's just anime logic.
Anime logic. For the more you know. Anywho, moving on to Naruto. Oh boy, does he have a lot. He has
name a few.
He has the Rasengan, the Shadow Clone Jutsu, and little fun fact, Naruto is the only person to master and be the best at the Shadow Clone Jutsu. He also learned Wind Style Rasengan, for Naruto is a Wind Style user. He learned the Rasen Shuriken, the Planetary Rasengan, the Massive Rasengan Barrage, the Tail Beast Bomb, the All-Tailed Beast Rasen Shurikens, the Multi-Tailed Beast Rasen Shuriken, and the Uzumaki Barrage, just to name a few. Holy shit, that's a lot.
Wow.
And the only reason why Naruto ever learns the All-Tailed Beast Rasen Shurikens or the Multi-Tailed Beast is because eventually in the series, I don't know if it's true or not, but he either combines his body or, I don't know what he does, but apparently he knows how to use all the other tail beasts' powers to make different Rasen shurikens.
If you do know, please let us know in the comments.
Yes. Does Naruto fuse with them, or does he simply learn from them? Please do tell us. We must know. But anywho, now we move on to martial arts. Can you tell us Natsu's martial arts?
Well, Natsu uses a form of hand-to-hand combat, where he combines his Dragon Slayer magic with his combat abilities, which all Dragon Slayers can do.
Huh. That's actually pretty cool.
To name a few of his skills: Fire Dragon Iron Fist, Dragon Talon, Wing Attack, and that is it.
Well, that's actually pretty cool.
And Fire Dragon Roar.
But that doesn't really involve him hitting someone with his physical body.
Yeah, but it's still an ability that he uses.
But it's not a martial art.
That's true. Oh well.
Yeah.
Well, I did say he uses forms of fire.
Very true.
And a fireball is a physical...
It's a physical what?
It's a physical object.
But yeah, but it's not a part of Natsu's body.
But he's firing it from his mouth. It came from his body, the heat from his body.
Fuck.
So technically, it is part of him.
Fuck, you got me there. But anywho.
Science, bitch.
Science, bitch. But anyway, now for Naruto's martial arts. Naruto knows what every other ninja knows. The fighting art of the ninja known as taijutsu, which is the physical art of a ninja's fighting ability. Taijutsu seems to be a combination of Chinese kung fu, karate, and ninja fighting.
That is very fascinating.
And there's a good reason why it's called taijutsu, because in real life there are two other martial arts which have the name Tai in their name. There's Tai Chi, a Chinese martial art, and then there's Taekwondo, which I don't know if it's Chinese or Asian, but I feel like it might be.
Which one?
Taekwondo.
I think that's Asian. I believe it is, anyway.
Well, anyway, those
Please, if you do know, write it down in the comments.
Please do tell us. I wish I know. I like Asian culture. I should know this shit.
I know. It's fascinating.
But anywho, moving on from martial arts. Now we move on to abilities. And because we both discussed it together, and because I thought of this myself, and I think Mr. Dragon Slayer knew this as well, if you transform, that's technically a form of ability.
This is true.
So tell us, Mr. Dragon Slayer, what is Natsu's abilities?
Well, Natsu has two abilities, or rather two forms. Dragon Force, where his body turns into, well, partially turns into a dragon. And his second form is a kind of demon form, because Natsu is actually part demon, known as END form. But it is sealed away within the Book of Zereth, also known as the Book of END. But to find out more about that, if you are fascinated in that, I suggest you watch the anime. It is a fascinating one.
Or read the manga.
Or read the manga, which I have done a little.
Yeah. Well, that's very interesting. So Natsu's not just a human dragon, he's a human dragon demon.
Exactly.
Holy crap.
I know.
And I thought Naruto was a lot of things.
Yep.
Speaking of Naruto's abilities, transformation-wise, are as such. Naruto can turn into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 8 tailed fox cloaks. And what I mean by that is that each number represents how many tails he has in each cloak form. And the more tails he has, the more of a fox he becomes. And once he reaches 9, he would become fully the 9-tailed fox, and Naruto would be technically dead. Good thing that's never happened. And Naruto can also use Sage Mode, which also gives him some form of healing ability, which is an ability. And his semi-final / final tail beast form, where he's all golden, it gives him super speed and super strength and more power. And the same goes for his Sage of 6 Paths mode. That is a transformation and ability, which gives him a shit ton of power.
That's a lot of power.
Yep. But anyway, now we move on to the final category. Power. Please tell us, Mr. Dragon Slayer, what is Natsu's power?
Power types and uses. He is taught how to use fire type Dragon Slayer magic.
Huh.
But there are different elements. Fire is the first one. There is iron, sky, shadow, and light.
But Natsu is specifically a fire type.
Yes. Well, he's a fire lightning type. But you'd have to learn more about the lightning mode in the actual anime, which I suggest you watch. It is a fascinating one.
Well,
I highly recommend it.
Well, that's really cool. So, for Naruto's power type and usage, Naruto uses ninjutsu, which is a form of jutsu in ninja training, which lets him use his ninja powers. And the name of the power is known as chakra. He also has sage form chakra, which is technically different from regular chakra, as it is used with natural nature energy. And he also has the separate energy of his tail beast chakra. So he has regular chakra, sage chakra, and tail beast chakra. That's a lot of chakra.
There's a lot of power.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised, because at the end, technically, near the end of the Naruto series, up to the Boruto series, Naruto is technically the most powerful ninja in all of the Naruto series.
Speaking of Boruto, the game should be coming out soon for the PS4. If anyone has one.
And also speaking of Boruto, he is also a playable character in Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4.
Naruto and who?
Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4. Boruto is a playable character.
Is he? I never found him.
Yeah, he's in the game.
You sure he's not just in there as a DLC character or something?
I don't know, but I do know he is in the game.
I have seen him. I've probably been in there somewhere. It's been a while since I played the game.
So there we go, guys. We just went through all the flipping stats / categories. Now here comes the difficult part. The final discussion. With me and Mr. Dragon Slayer are going to have to discuss and go almost kind of back through the stats again and discuss who is better at what. So yeah, are you ready for this, Mr. Dragon Slayer? Because this is Because either this is going to turn into a discussion or an argument.
Well, it can only turn into an argument if we start getting angry at each other. But, since we're good friends, it shouldn't happen.
Yeah, we're buddies. So
We've
yeah.
known each other for like years.
So yeah. This is almost kind of a point system in a way, but not real. Well, it is, but I use this system to determine who is better at what, so I know who is better overall. So, in terms of speed, well, I always...
Oh, but if you think he is wrong or I am wrong, please put it down in the comments and put who you think is the best.
Please do. So, in terms of speed, now we need to discuss who's faster, Naruto or Natsu.
That's kind of tricky because I don't know how fast Natsu really is because I couldn't find the information. If you know, please place it down in the comments. I'd love to know.
Okay.
Either on his channel or my channel, which this video will be going on.
And also on yours once I send it. But anyway.
What?
No. Nothing? Never mind. Anywho, because we have an uncertainty on one end, we can't really fairly say who's faster. So for the speed category, we have to sadly say they're either both even or none of them are fast. Just for now. But not to worry, we still have...
We are fast, but we don't know who is fastest. Yet.
Yep. But don't worry, we still have 5 other categories to go through. So, now we can get to discuss who's stronger.
Well, in Natsu's case, he's possibly the strongest in the entire guild. But Naruto is also possibly stronger, well, the strongest in his world. Because he controls the strongest knife, the strongest tail beast.
Well, Naruto is stronger thanks to his power. In terms of, I don't know if he's the absolute strongest, because I don't know if the third or fourth Raikage is stronger than Naruto physically. Because in one episode of Shippuden, during the 4th grade ninja war, the third Raikage comes back to life thanks to a reanimation jutsu from Kabuto. And apparently, if he gets one punch on you, you can apparently die, no matter how powerful you are.
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah, because apparently the less fingers he uses, the more focused his attacks are.
That sounds like an arrow through the heart.
Exactly. Except an arrow has a tip, or in other words, still one finger. His fist is more like, let's say, a bullet. The more precise it is, the more deadly.
Sounds like a sniper rifle, to be honest.
But because he never landed a hit on Naruto, we don't know if Naruto can take it or not. But Naruto was able to take the 4th Raikage's lightning lariat attack straight to him and survive. And when the 4th Raikage and Killer Bee used the double lariat technique, which involves the lightning lariat, they both managed to take off the head of one of the Akatsuki members, who was so powerful they called him the Tailless Beast. They literally both clotheslined his head so hard it exploded. Holy shit.
Yes, that sounds very flippin' scary.
Now I don't know if the 4th Raikage did as much damage, but because apparently the fourth Raikage can use his lightning style jutsu to go as fast as Naruto's dad using the flying Raijin technique. Naruto's dad, who was not as muscly as the fourth Raikage, but still the fourth Raikage was able to go that fucking fast. And you know what Minato's nickname was? The Golden Flash Ninja.
Actually, it was the Yellow Flash.
Oh yeah, sorry, the Yellow Flash Ninja. Literally, he was a flash, literally undetectable by human or even trained ninja eyes.
Actually, it was just Yellow Flash, not Ninja.
Oh.
Well, that's good too.
I like to add ninja because, well, he was a ninja.
Obviously. You can't say no to a ninja.
Yep. And because Naruto could also use that technique, thanks to his golden form, which he took the double lariat in, mind you. I don't know if he could take it in base form, but that, I suppose that's more in terms of durability than it is strength.
That's true.
But then again, Naruto is strong enough to battle with some of the greatest ninjas, who other ninjas wouldn't even stand a chance against. He battled Pain, Toby, and Madara with his strength alone, and a bit of his power, but then again, you do get stronger the more power you have.
That's true.
So, oh boy, this one's hard to judge as well.
I would say the point would have to go to Naruto, to be honest.
You think Naruto might be stronger than Natsu?
Because he uses physical strength. Natsu's strength is dependent on his magic ability.
Well...
So Naruto's using more strength.
Well, technically Naruto's strength also depends on his chakra.
But ninjas use more like base combat.
Well, that is true, but Naruto's not the absolute best fighter. That's the problem. While he is good at fighting, he's not, let's say, Kakashi level fighting.
You have a good point.
Hell, Kakashi has been argued to be a better taijutsu fighter than Rock Lee sometimes. Rock motherfucking Lee, who is based off real-life martial artist Bruce Lee.
That's something I did not know.
Yep. In fact, it's almost been proven that in almost every popular anime there is a character that's based off Bruce Lee one way or another.
Oh, did you know that some animes have actually taken off actual programs?
That is also true. But moving back onto the subject, we still...
Yes.
Okay, in terms of normal strength, maybe Natsu and Naruto might be equal, but in terms of strength with added power, I don't think we'll ever know who's stronger.
That's true.
Because until the proper episode of Natsu using his END form comes out, we don't know the maximum strength of that transformation. And it's kind of unfair to say that Natsu can be... I mean, not Natsu. It's kind of unfair to say Naruto is stronger when sure he did punch a Jinchuriki far away, but that was thanks to the spirit of Kurama. So that didn't really count because it was Kurama's fist, not Naruto's. So that's kind of an unfair assessment, even if I was to use it.
For those who don't know, Kurama is the name of the Nine Tails.
Yep, because each tail beast has names. But
it'd be too much of a hassle to go through them all.
Yep. But anyway, so in terms of strength, it's undecidable, I guess. I mean, sure, I could say Kuruma's strength is Naruto's strength. But
that is true.
I don't know. I want to say, but I want to, for some reason, stay fair because we don't know what Natsu's maximum strength is.
Again, that is a good point.
But then again, Naruto is considered the strongest in the Hidden Leaf, and if the Hidden Leaf is anything like the Fairy Tail Guild, wouldn't that technically mean that they're both equally strong, even with added power?
Again, you do make a good point.
Because seriously, there are a shit ton of people in the guild, and there are a shit ton of powerful ninjas in the Hidden Leaf.
That would be scary. Watching those two go at it.
Yep, I could just imagine both punching each other right in the cheek.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't know if Naruto's stronger than Tsunade. I would argue in final form, yes, but base form, not a fucking chance. That lady is a strong bitch.
That is true, because if you remember in one of the episodes, he did fight Lady Tsunade and lost.
Yep.
But back then he was just a little kid. So it's up in the air on that one.
Yep. So I think we can both agree that in both natural and full power strength, Natsu and Naruto might just be equal.
Who knows, they could be brothers.
Lol.
Brothers from another mother.
Brothers from another mother.
At the way this is sounded out.
It would almost make sense because Kushina's hair was red and Natsu's hair is kind of a pink.
That's true.
It is possible for children to get their parents' hair in a lighter shade.
Good point.
But anywho, so for speed, undecidable, but for strength, it is a draw. But now we get on to the part which might make a bit of more difference, the techniques. We have to decide whose techniques are better than whose.
Alright.
Oh god, this is gonna be tough. Because now we need to... Because there's gonna be arguments like, what's stronger, the Rasengan or the Flaming Dragon Punch?
It's actually Fire Dragon Iron Fist, to be technical.
Same difference.
Got a point. Anywho. So we're starting with me then?
I suppose so. So, okay, how about we argue which... Okay, how about we discuss who has the more powerful, like, ultimate technique?
Well, right. Naruto has more abilities than Natsu, dependent on fire. Naruto has wind, which means he can make different ones. Like the Rasen Shuriken. But Natsu can only use Fire Dragon Roar, Fire Dragon Iron Fist, and Fire Dragon Talon. And Wing Attack.
And a giant fireball.
That too.
So, okay, but
Naruto has more of a
variety.
More variety.
Okay, even though Naruto has more variety, let's just say, for example, what is Natsu's most powerfulest technique?
His technique would be his secret art, which would be the flame of exploding.
Could you repeat that? You kind of glitched up.
It would be his secret art, the Lotus exploding flame blade.
Basically the giant fireball.
Not really. Flame was exploding flames like, not from his mouth, but from his hands.
Oh.
Kind of like they were sent on in some way.
Huh. Okay. And you're sure that's Natsu's most powerful move?
At least I think it is.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Alright.
Naruto.
Well, okay, I'm gonna disclude powers from other characters. So the most powerful move Naruto can do... Oh, shit, that's one I forgot to mention as well. I forgot to add Naruto's literally most powerful technique ever. The Yin and Yang Rasen Shuriken. Where he literally uses the power of good and evil chakra in a giant Rasen Shuriken.
Now that sounds... zen.
Which he can either throw or use as a close-up attack.
So basically you can throw or just force it into your stomach.
Exactly. And that thing is bigger than every other Rasengan he can ever do. It's the Yin and Yang Rasen Shuriken is half the size of Spirit Form Kurama.
How?
Because, and this is the cool part, when Naruto enters Golden Kurama form, where he's like a giant golden version of Kurama, Kurama doesn't have 2 arms. Oh no, he has 4 arms, and he uses two arms on one side to make one Yin and Yang Rasen Shuriken, and the other 2 to make another. He can make 2 at the exact same time, which is absolutely ridiculous.
True.
So if we were to just use one Yin and Yang Rasen Shuriken, we have to determine what both the ultimate attacks have done in both respective universes and which one is better. So what's the greatest thing Natsu has ever done with his ultimate attack?
That would be... I'm trying to think now. It's been a while since I've watched Fairy Tail. I think he used it in the battle against... Grimoire Heart? He took down the leader of Grimoire Heart with it, I think.
And in terms of power, how powerful is Grimoire?
It's one of the most powerful dark guilds. Please,
Okay.
tell me in the comments if that is true, that he did use that ability against Grimoire Heart. I ain't too sure.
So if the Grimoire Hearts are the most strongest group of the
No, they're one of the 3 strongest guilds.
One of the 3 strongest guilds, and he used that on the leader, who would arguably be the most powerful out of all of them. If he used it, did he defeat him with it?
I think so. Again, it's been a while since I've watched that episode.
Well, I don't know who Naruto used the Yin and Yang Rasen Shuriken on, but I have heard that he possibly used it against Madara, and it almost killed the fucker.
How?
Well, let's see. He threw it right at him when he wasn't looking, and, well, it hit him, and it almost killed him. But it was only thanks to him being in Sage of 6 Paths mode that he barely survived.
Talk about lucky. Oh, close shave.
With that fucking thing, it is a fucking close shave.
Oh, yeah. And you get a haircut with that thing. And it would be a real close shave. For your head.
Lol. So both ultimate attacks from each character have taken down very powerful enemies in the series.
Yep.
The only thing is, we need to figure out which one's better. Oh boy, this is gonna be tough.
I think this is just going to end up in a tie at the end of this.
For some reason, I feel that too. Okay, so even though Naruto has more of a variety in techniques, Natsu may have less abilities, but he makes up for having them being very powerful.
That's true.
So, in terms of variety, Naruto would win, but in terms of making the attack having less but very powerful attacks, it'd be Natsu. But in terms of who has better techniques, oh boy, it's come to a draw again, hasn't it?
Pretty much, yes.
Oh Jesus, that's three subjects, and they're already even.
But, my friend, if it does end in a tie, that means the comments can help us decide on the winner.
Very true. Okay, now we move on to martial arts.
Well, for Natsu, his martial arts would be hand-to-hand combat, mixed with a bit of fire magic.
Talk about using power in your punches.
Oh yeah.
And Naruto's martial art is known as taijutsu, the physical art of a ninja.
Do you wish to know the names of Natsu's abilities? Well, combat skills.
Okay, so with fighting alone, who has Natsu beaten just with his fighting?
Fighting alone. I would have to say, what was his name again? Uncrow or something like that from Grimoire Heart. He's a God Slayer, another form of Slayer magic, which is also another form of lost magic.
Damn, a God Slayer.
Yep.
Now
Can you imagine God going up against that thing?
In real life, I wouldn't want to dare it.
Yeah, imagine him winning.
Oh,
the whole world would come to an end.
So Natsu used just martial arts alone to beat that guy?
I don't think so.
So
he had to use his magic because he was using magic as well. But if they didn't have any energy left, they would have had to use hand-to-hand combat.
So there's no confirmed people that Natsu's ever beaten just with fighting alone?
I don't think there has been a person that he's beaten with just hand-to-hand combat. Oh, yes there is. Mistigan or Prince Jalal from another one of the timelines in the series. He went fist to fist with him. Except, Natsu got beat by him because he let him win.
So Natsu could have beaten him, but he didn't.
Or he was very tired from his last battle with another bad guy.
Huh.
So he could have gone either way, basically.
Well, okay then. The only person I can remember Naruto ever beating with just fighting alone. Who did he beat? Only using his fighting. Thinking face. I think he did technically beat Kakashi once with martial arts. But to be fair, Kakashi did say, you're lucky I wasn't using any of my ninjutsu, otherwise you would be in trouble.
That's true.
So, and Kakashi has matched my guy in taijutsu many times, and my guy's pretty strong. But then again, Kakashi wasn't fully trying with Naruto, so I can't really confirm if Naruto could have beaten him otherwise. This is hard.
So, could you say it's a tie again?
Well, perhaps. I think so. Maybe not. I think in martial arts, Natsu and Naruto would somehow even out, even though Naruto goes sort of wild with his fighting style sometimes. So then again, Natsu does go a bit bonkers himself. So, god damn it, that's 4. That's fucking 4 now that they've matched each other with.
I know, isn't that true?
Good lord, is there gonna be an end? Is there going to be a winner? Alright.
Doesn't look like it.
Abilities.
Okay, for Natsu's abilities, we've got Dragon Force, which turns his body into scales, like a proper form dragon. And the other ability is END form, which has not yet been announced in the anime. But in the manga, I think it's been revealed. And it's pretty badass.
Okay.
For those who don't know it, it is where he turns into a demon. Because Natsu is part demon.
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 Okay, in terms of variety, Naruto definitely has more transformations again. But even though he has more variety, I don't know if that means I don't know how powerful Natsu's final form is compared to Naruto's.
Well, END hasn't fully been announced yet. And Natsu did take on the Twin Dragon Slayers. But I don't know if he actually used his Dragon Force ability.
So even in base form, he managed to take on 2 Dragon Slayers at the same time.
Well, I don't know if he used his Dragon Force or not.
Oh.
I'd have to watch the episode again.
So this one's uncertain again.
Yes, it's so I look that way.
Fuck. Okay. So, I guess in terms of abilities, unless we get more information, it's a tie again.
If we do find out more information, we might do another video on it. Might.
A sort of a retry.
Or a recap.
Yep. Okay, now this one might just tip the balance. Power type and usage. How quickly does Natsu run out of his power?
Well, for a Dragon Slayer, they can rekindle their power through absorbing their elements. Say for Natsu, he's a Fire Dragon Slayer, so if he eats fire, he can regain his power quicker that way. But, like a normal human, he can devour food and let his power regen naturally.
Huh.
Like Naruto.
Very true. And even though it's hard to say, like for future Naruto, but when Naruto was a kid, he used it. Oh, it would take, I don't know, at one point he managed to only do about, I don't know, 4 Rasengan's before he almost completely ran out of power. But future Naruto, I do not know how much chakra he has to give out before he loses it all. But with the fact that he has a tailed beast giving him more, I doubt he ever could.
That's true. It's the same for a Dragon Slayer. If Natsu has, like, plenty of fire around him, he can keep it so he would basically never run out if his body doesn't fail on him first.
So, if Natsu was to, say, throw a fireball at Naruto and it missed, and it stayed on fire on the ground somehow, and Natsu ate that fire, would he regain all of his power just from...
No.
Oh. So he can't regain his
He
power.
cannot devour his own fire. It must be external fire that has been created by someone else or by another thing.
Well, that's gonna be kind of hard for Natsu because Naruto has no fire style moves. And
That's true.
chakra is not a form of plasma, it's a form of internal energy.
That's true. But if he was fighting, say, Sasuke, it would be different.
Yep, Sasuke is more of a fire style user and he's really good at it.
So against Natsu, he'd be at a disadvantage.
Yep. And
Because the more fire he used, the more Natsu would absorb.
But can Natsu absorb lightning?
Yeah. Yes. He's done it once to become the Lightning Dragon Slayer. Sorry, the Lightning Flame Dragon Slayer.
But it'd be pretty weird, Natsu randomly munching on Sasuke's hand when he does the Chidori. It'd be like, nom. Sasuke's like, what are you doing, you idiot? Get off my hand.
No, he wouldn't have to munch on his hand. He could munch on the energy that Sasuke is producing.
But Sasuke always aims for the chest.
But I don't know if Natsu can absorb lightning naturally.
No, as far as I know from...
What I've seen in the anime is, he activates the ability, Flame Lightning Dragon mode. And for some reason he instantly has lightning. So I don't know if he needs to absorb it or not.
The only way I know that Natsu gets his powers back is from eating. Like, he literally has to use his mouth and absorb it through his mouth. Kind of like Kirby. Kind of like Kirby from Smash Brothers.
That's true.
So if he was up against Sasuke, it'd be a different story. But because Naruto's not a fire style user, because Naruto's only style that he uses is wind and chakra, Natsu cannot feed off any energy Naruto lays out.
But if he accidentally sets some trees on fire, then he would be buggered.
Actually, there's no there's no moves Naruto can do besides.
But what about when the shuriken explodes?
No, it doesn't explode like a bomb. It just expands the energy and disperse. The only move Naruto does, which makes a form of proper explosion, which could make some form of fire, is maybe the tail beast bomb. But then again, he doesn't use it very often.
That's true.
So, doesn't that mean something? Doesn't that mean Natsu has less options to heal himself and get more power?
The truth is, Natsu can't heal himself, but...
No, you know what I mean, get more power.
That's true.
So...
But if Natsu activated his second or third form, then Naruto, it would be a different story for Naruto.
How come?
Because if he activated his Dragon Force form, which not many people know about, me included, he could possibly have more fire or something. Or if he uses A&D mode, no one knows anything about that yet.
And that's true. And then again, even if Natsu runs out of firepower somehow, I think, even if they were to fight in Naruto's world, he'll find some way to get fire, won't he?
That's true. And if Naruto went up against E&D form, we don't know how his powers work, we don't know how his powers are generated, and we don't know what they're powered by. So...
And we can't exactly make a comparison of which is better, can we?
Nope. So, you know what we're going to have to do, don't you?
Say it's a tie, aren't we?
Yep. And we're going to have to leave it to the viewers. So please let us know down in the comments.
Yes, please do. We are so sorry, guys. We could not for the life of us find out who was better. I literally tried there at the last part to think maybe Naruto might have had an advantage with power, but then again Naruto does like to waste it a lot. So
that's true.
So I can't believe it, but for the time being, unless there's other information or something we missed, the battle between Natsu and Naruto is a draw.
It's a tie.
It is technically the second draw I have ever had in this series.
Which was the first?
I don't know if I said it was a tie or not. I think I did, but I think it was when I said. Oh yeah, it's when I don't know if I said they could tie, but then again, there's other ways they could kill each other. But anyway, the first one was Sasuke versus Raiden.
Who?
Raiden. He's from Metal Gear Solid.
Ah.
And,
I played the Metal Gear
and I don't mean Metal Gear Solid 2. Oh no, I mean the last game he ever appears in, Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, where he is a ultimate ninja cyborg.
Oh, I've seen that. Another YouTuber played that.
Jacksepticeye?
Yep, that's the one.
Yay.
And he's amazing. To be honest, he's an amazing YouTuber.
And he's funny as hell.
Oh yeah.
And the reason why I did that is because you know how the Sharingan lets you see time slower.
Mhm.
Well, Raiden has an ability called Zendatsu, which does the same thing.
Sengoku.
Zendatsu. Then again, it is only. But you know what's funny? At first, I thought it was only thanks to the little what's it called? He has like this cool like visor thing that comes over his head when he gets ready for a battle. But apparently, even without it, he can still use Zendatsu.
That's scary.
So yeah, there we go, guys. This is the second time I had to say two characters would end up in the draw. And how about this? Two of each characters from both videos were from Naruto. So there we go, guys. That's the end of this video. And also thank all of you guys for over 280 subscribers. Holy shit, this is amazing.
Do not forget to like and subscribe.
Yes.
And you can find me at my channel.
I will leave a link to his channel in the description below. Or I will put a link I will also put a link on the actual video itself in a little box. You can click on that link, which will send you right to his channel, where you can also watch the same video on his channel, or watch any videos that he makes in the future.
Because to be honest, I have not made many, because I don't know what to make. So if you do subscribe to me, leave me some suggestions in the comments. Either gameplay videos, please.
Yeah. Alright guys, so anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, leave a like, leave a comment. Oh, subscribe to join the Hedgehog/Nation today. Oh, make sure you like and subscribe to the Blood Dragon Slayer.
Blood Dragon Slayers.
And I will see you guys in the next video, however I make. Stay awesome, guys. Thank you for joining me, Mr. Dragon Slayer.
Thank you for having me. It was fun.
Do you want to say goodbye to the fans?
Goodbye, everyone.